Hello ladies and gents, and welcome to another fabulous week of English 101. As we dive into this week, I want to highlight a couple big projects we're working on, as well as some of the resources that can help you be successful. So if we start by looking at our calendar, today I would highly recommend that you start working on your annotated bibliography. We talked about this a little bit last week. I'll go over it again. The annotated bibliography is basically a collection of the research you have found for Project 3. It does follow a specific format, and I'll show you that in the modules in just a minute. But the annotated bibliography shouldn't be a terribly daunting document for you. I know when you first look at the prompt for it and the example, you might sit back and go, whoa, this is a lot. But really all it's doing is taking the research work you would have had to do anyway for this project and just collecting it in a nice spot so that it's easier for you to reference when you actually write your Project 3 essay. So while it seems like a lot of additional work, it's actually something that might streamline your essay writing process. And it's something that you will, I don't want to say 100%, but probably like 100% you're going to have to do it in English 102. Of course, there's some variation on what instructors you get, but almost everyone I've talked to in the department does an annotated bibliography for English 102. So this is really good practice for you in a lower stakes kind of teaching environment, so that when you're asked to do it in 102 and there are a lot more points riding on it, it's not your first time seeing it. So this is designed to help you not only in this class, but elsewhere as well. Also, if instead of English 102, you take English 235, once again, depending on your instructor, you will almost 100% have to do an annotated bibliography too. So there's no escaping it. Might as well get good at it here, where it's a lower stakes, safer learning environment than when it might be higher stakes later on. So working on the annotated bibliography this week, I'll walk you through that document in just a minute. And then we are going to be building toward Project 3. Hopefully you've already taken a look at our case list. You've seen the PowerPoint on culture, bias, and justice, on the recorded lecture videos associated with those. On Tuesday, you're going to be taking an implicit bias association test. And this is kind of a cool thing. So I want to show it to you in a little bit more detail. So for this assignment, you are going to be going through a test that Harvard University designed. This test is widely used across psychological sort of testing platforms. It is recognized as one of the premier kind of tests you can take to kind of try and figure out where bias might exist. And so if you click on that link that I showed you there, all of this is basically saying, I won't sue Harvard if I don't like my test results. Sad that they have to have that kind of discrepancy statement because the test is just revealing something that's already in your brain, but they don't want to get sued if you don't like your results, so you just click I wish to proceed because we're not going to sue them. And then you get to select what kind of test you want. So you may take almost any of these tests. Bias toward people of different sexualities, specifically Arab Muslim people, Native peoples. Are you showing bias by age or by weight, by skin tone, by religion, by race? The ones I would suggest you not take is the weapons one, because it doesn't really show bias in the way that we want to for Project 3, and the president's one, because once again, it doesn't really show the kind of implicit bias we're looking at specifically for Project 3. It does show bias, both the weapons and the presidents show bias, but it's a different variety. And so it wouldn't be as easily applicable in our Project 3 essay. If you've looked at the Project 3 outline, one of the final paragraphs of the essay is asking how we can combat bias at a national level, at a local level, and then at a personal level. And this test fits really well into the discussion of bias at the personal level. So I would highly recommend that you take one, take a couple, see what kind of bias might exist that you may not be aware of. You may take the test and find you don't have bias and you're like, yahoo, I'm awesome. Take another test. See if you've got bias somewhere else, because of course there are areas where we are more biased and areas where we are less biased. I was taking this quiz the other night and took the age one and found that I have a weird age bias that I wasn't totally aware of. So good to know. Helps me as I move forward in relationship with people of all kinds of ages. It just informs me, as we read about in the Where Does Bias Begin article. You can't combat bias if you don't know it exists, right? So the first step is knowing it exists, and then we go from there. So if you pick one of these tests, I'm just going to select the first one because it's fun. You're going to have to click on through a whole bunch of things. You can choose to do demographics if you want. You can decline to answer if you want. If you don't want to give this kind of information, that's absolutely fine. I'm just clicking through because it's faster. And then we can get started. Really, what this test is asking you to do is to have some really quick reactions to images that they show you and ideas that they show you. So you're going to have to rate some things, you're going to have to type things quickly. There are a lot of things you're going to be asked to do, but really the test only takes about 5 minutes. So take some time, conduct one of the tests, take a screenshot of your end screen that shows you what your results were, and then briefly discuss those results. So tell me a little bit more. Did the results surprise you? Do you think this bias exists? Now that you know a bias exists, if it does, are there any changes you want to make? And you can draw on our readings from the article, Where Does Bias Begin, on how we can start to change our own biases. So lots of good stuff working for you here. I do see a little error in here I'm going to correct. This is not due on Monday, it's due on Tuesday. Tuesday. So we've got till then, that's nice. So you'll be taking that implicit bias test. Excellent, awesome, good stuff. And that will help you in your Project 3 essay, specifically in one of your final paragraphs where you have to address bias at the national, local, and then personal level. You're going to be working on the thesis worksheet. I've got some great work provided for you in that worksheet that kind of breaks down the ideas and how we want to structure them. I've got an outline, just like for all our other essays, that I think you'll find very helpful. And we'll be working on peer review next Monday. So you're going to want to be writing your essay over the weekend. And I do want to pop into our modules just real quick to show you a couple more resources that we have to help you be successful. Trying to keep the video short because, you know, we all don't have time to watch a 20-minute video of me yammering on at you. So if we go into Project 3, do make sure you've watched the recorded lectures if you haven't yet. Very important for this project. Then make sure that you have watched the prompt case list and outline video. Those are going to be very, very helpful for you. Watch them. I know I talk so much at you in the videos, but like watch them. They will help you so much. And then we've got our prompt, our outline, the worksheet for you here. And then as promised earlier in the video, everything you need for the annotated bibliography. And I do have a sample for you here. And I think that you'll find this particularly useful as we construct this document. I've got it highlighted and color-coded for you. You do not need to color code yours if you don't want to. You can if you want. If it helps you, awesome. Not a requirement for the project. So the annotated bibliography is a separate document from your Project 3 essay. There are 2 assignments, 2 separate documents. You will format this in MLA style with the student name, instructor, class, date. It does have a title. The title is annotated bibliography. That makes it pretty easy. It's alphabetized. You start with your MLA formatted citation, and then you've got your annotation, which is what the paragraph is called. Yellow I've got highlighted for you is a summary of the article. Blue is how I'm planning on using this article, particularly if you've got direct quotes. This is a great place to pop them in because then you don't have to scramble through the article again when you start writing your essay. All you have to do is go to your annotated bib and pull the quote directly out. If you are using quotes, do make sure to have your in-text citation. And then the last little bit is evaluation of the article. Was this a good article? Is it going to work for you? Does it have credibility? Is it from a good source? Or is it questionable? Did you find it on a YouTube channel? You know, that kind of stuff. So let's find good sources and prove why they're good sources here. You are going to need multiple sources in here, and each of those will just be alphabetized following one another. So that's our sample annotated bibliography. I do have a whole page on annotated bibs and a whole video in the module. So if you want more detailed information on those, it's all available for you here in this link, How to Find Sources, where I walk you through how to find sources, surprise, and then walk you through the annotated bibliography in more detail. So we've got lots of good stuff for you here. I am going to post a sample essay for you on this one as well, so be on the lookout for that. I will put it in this little essay section so that you can look at some samples as well. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. If you have any questions, let me know. I look forward to seeing how these projects develop. I'm currently working on grading your Project 2 essays. I'm hoping to have those done in the next few days. So stay tuned for that. Let me know if you have any questions. Stay safe and healthy out there, guys. It is nuts out there, so be kind to each other. Wear your masks, wash your hands, don't lick doorknobs. You know, like, be good. And I'll see you later.